used to take a lot of pride in that. Well, I'm a perfectionist, and so I just can't do that right now because I couldn't get it perfect. So I'll wait until everything is right and all the stars are in alignment, and we're moving into the Aquarian age and blah 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 to get it right, right? And those times never seem to come. So there I am doing dancer pose, or my version of it, right? In that moment, I felt like I was doing something perfectly, right? But then I got home, and I looked at it, and I thought, oh, well, it doesn't quite look like what it felt like. Well, when I get to the perfect weight, then I'll take pictures of myself doing yoga, then I'll make yoga videos, then it'll be perfect, right? And so I've been teaching yoga for 3 years, and there wasn't any pictures of me, really, on the website doing yoga. And I've been being asked by my students, when are you going to make a yoga video? When are you going to get this recorded? And well, the timing just isn't right, and I've got a little bit more to lose, and all of that. And I finally, this summer, I just went, whatever, I love teaching yoga, but if I was going to leave it to how my body looked when I taught it, I probably wouldn't be teaching. I probably wouldn't. And so being willing to stumble and bumble and move along in your progression towards that's perfection, right? So perfection's an attitude as well. Perfection is not some static position, right? You get there. It's kind of like, I was listening to the guy, Jamie, what's his last name? Anyways, his name is Jamie, and he climbed Mount Everest. And I was listening to a talk that he was giving, and he said he got there, it was quite a process to get there. But he summited Mount Everest, and he's standing on the top of Mount Everest, right? Bitter cold, and he's got the flag, and he was looking out over the horizon, And all his, for so many years he'd been working for this moment, right? And then he got there, and then he said, okay, now what? Now what? Well, singing is something that I quite like to do. It's not something that I'm professional at by any means, but it's something that I quite like to do. And I've been known to, sing a few notes here and there at different venues. And so I thought, sure, I could do that. So as the time got closer to us actually being in the vehicle, driving to the studio, I could feel this anxiety starting to come up. Just a little gurgling feeling in my belly. And so I was doing that breathing thing, not letting the shoulders come up to the ears, letting them relax, honoring where I was at. And I thought, I know what I'll do. I'll tell Cindy how I'm feeling. Because sometimes if you express how you're feeling, that'll make it go away, right? It'll just kind of take the oomph out of it, right? The sting out of it. Because that's what we talk about in Artful Living, right? Express your feelings, express your emotions, honor them, honor where you're at. So I said to Cindy, because we pulled up to the driveway, there was the studio. And I said, Cindy, wow, we're here. Gee, I thought this would be a longer trip. So, yeah, about doing those harmonies, guess what? I'm a little nervous about it right now. And she goes, oh, that's totally normal. She says, that's totally normal to be nervous. I said, no, I'm really nervous. I think I might throw up. So, sweating now, onion rings forming underneath the pits. I go into the sound room. And I'm standing in front of the microphone, and she says, and we've got a really great idea. We're going to let you lay a melody track down. So what that means is I get to sing the whole song from start to finish, all by myself. Oh, there's music playing in the background, but I get to sing. I'm ready. So, okay, let's go. So I start, and I can feel my voice kind of crackle at the beginning, But I don't know that I am allowed to say that we can stop this process and start over. So I push through the pain, and I sing the entire thing and go off key several times. And I can hear myself going off key. I can hear that, right? And I'm thinking, well, thank God they have a key corrector, because maybe they can, patch this up. So anyways, I'm looking to see if there's smiles happening through the window on the faces in the other room, and there weren't any. And so I get to the end of it, and And she said, and they're not letting me hear what they're saying. I can see lips moving and stuff. And so the sound manager comes in and she says, "Come on in, Brenda. We'll have a little talk." Okay. I go in and I sit down and I'm shaking. And she says, "So that was really pitchy." I said, "Okay, pitchy. So is pitchy good or bad?" Because I don't know. I'm totally new to this, right? She said, "It's bad." I said, "How bad?" She goes, "Well, pretty bad." I said, I thought I hit the keynote a few times. And she goes, "Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, you did, but you were kind of sharp or flat and all these words." And I'm just like, I don't know. I just sing by ear. I just go by feel. I just sing with my heart. And she goes, "But you know what? The good news is we're going to get you to do it again." Oh, good. So not one, not twice, but 3 times. I sing the whole melody from start to finish. And then more consulting, lips moving, right? No smiles. Brenda, come into the room. So I come in the room. "Yeah, we're going to scrap that idea." I was getting to the point where I was feeling quite emotional. And I was wondering how I could brush past Cindy and make a run for it. And if I could run, how far I could run and how fast I could run, and that I didn't want any part of this business anymore. But in that moment, I made a switch, and I thought, Brenda, you're really good at embracing the imperfections in others. You're really good at loving other people's prickles and rough edges. And you're really good at telling them that they're okay anyways. Maybe it's time for you to do that for you. And I made a decision. I said, "So what's the worst possible thing that can happen here?" "Well, the worst possible thing that can happen, Brenda, is that they completely and totally ditch everything that you've laid down here. And they call it a wash, right? Can you live with that?" "Well, it'll sting a little bit, but yeah, I think I can live with that." So what else? What other thing could go wrong? Well, Cindy's going to be paying $60 an hour for studio time. So I just cut her a check. Here you go, here's $120. Let's call her good. Like, she paid for me to come to Vernon. She bought the plane ticket and everything, right? And invested all this money and time. And I'm thinking, well, it's okay, I'll just cut her a check. It's all good, right? And the other thing is, the other worst thing that possibly could be in my mind is that maybe I'm not the singer I thought I was. Can you be okay anyways? Yeah, I can be okay. After 5 or 6 tries, I actually got on pitch. And then by the time the 2.5 hours was up, I was actually starting to feel a little bit creative. And I could be okay in my imperfections because I'm just me. And it's all right. And I can love myself anyways. So after that, we went to the park. And I went and did some more yoga because that's where I feel the best. And I climbed up in this tree and I did warrior pose because warrior is about bringing the courage, the courageous heart out in you. And as long as you're courageous, you can navigate anything. It's kind of like when my mom was learning to drive in the big city, and she's driving this big old farm truck, and she is in the left-hand turning lane, and she was just approaching it. She wasn't at the end of it yet. She was just approaching it, and I go, "Mom, we can't turn here. We have to go straight." She goes, "That's okay. I'm turning. It's too late. I'm turning. Oh, I'm turning." And I'm saying to her, "There's nobody coming. You can do it, right?" So no, we had to go like 3 miles because turn around. You guys have done that before, right? Because it's a freeway and you got to do overpass and the underpass and whatever pass until you pass them to get back. And I'm turning, and she's practically in her little feet, and like she's so close up to the steering wheel. And her little feet are pressing. We pretty much had to put pedals on it. And I could see her little foot dangling there. I'm like, press the brake. I'm turning. But I'm prepared to laugh at yourself. And I think, once again, we take ourselves very seriously. And there's sometimes that's a good thing, and then there's other times that just becomes a hindrance. And when we're always trying to get it right over and over and over again, we're living in that space of taking ourselves way too seriously. And we're missing out on a lot of fun in life. And something happens when you can just let go and just say, yeah, I'm not who I thought I was.